Alright team, here we go. Back again. We got the lads this time. So we've counted it. We're on episode 63. It's not bad for just a few lads who decided to make a podcast. How we doing, Greg? Good?
All good, my friend. All good. Yourself?
Yeah, good. How was the bus? This is why we're late. Greg had to bus home in Auckland. Apparently it's
fucking
dire.
The fucking bus in Auckland at the moment, eh? I was telling Jackson before, Hamish, that you want to get your other podcast, mate? Is that
yeah, Hamish has got a Coulter for muscle and fitness.
Yeah. Actually, it was my mum, but yeah. I'll tell her you said hi.
Yeah, keep her on. Yeah, the bus, man. I want to talk about the bus. Bus is in Auckland at the moment, horrible. They didn't anticipate the demand. So I don't know what they were anticipating for January 17, where everyone's essentially going back to work. So, yeah, look, I don't know, mate. I don't know. There's been a note to say that they'll do something about it, but, I waited 45 minutes, first world problems. 45 minutes.
Is that a capacity?
Yeah, they just, there's massive
social
queues. I don't know.
distancing and no standing and
Well, there's no social distancing in Auckland City at the moment. Everyone just decided to come into the city. I don't think maybe there's been a period where people will work from home, but this first week back to work for many has just seen everybody come into work office for the first time.
They'll be doing some kind of team catch ups and
stuff. Look, no doubt.
Genders
Right, setting genders or agendas.
Oh, are we going there? Are we?
Right.
I'm gender neutral.
We'll talk about that later. GPC's new world ruling.
We lasted what, 2 minutes?
Is that sex or gender? I'm never too sure.
Let's talk about gender. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Anyway, so obviously everyone heard the third voice in the room. Hamish, how you doing? Been a while.
Oh, you couldn't see me? Hey, how's it going, Jackson?
Oh, good. No, sorry, you just haven't been training.
Neither of you, mate. So,
for
once, the only one in the room who has been training is Greg. So
it's Greg.
Oh, look, I'm not exactly selling it. Jackson, you're looking pretty sharp, man. The Instagram post the other day.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, did he put a selfie up on Instagram?
Yeah, he's about 16 weeks out by the looks
Hamish
of it.
Hamish has deleted Instagram now. He's not lifting, so he's got nothing to post.
My whole life was revolved around my whole self-worth was around lifting. Oh wait, I'm not you.
Obviously.
I just have better things to do, mate.
Hey, funnily enough, so I haven't posted on there for like a month. Then I was like, you know what? I got to keep your fans happy.
And so your first one you go to is a shirtless shot.
Yeah.
Greg, can you superimpose the shot just so everyone can
see? I think everyone's going to see that one.
Keeping the people happy, bro. Give them what they want.
I'll tell you what, that side chest looking pretty impressive.
Thanks, mate. See, look, Greg liked it. That's my one fan.
It's your only fan.
I think you did get a bunch of likes when you post though, mate. Yeah.
Not bad.
But
yeah.
Can we get a male to female ratio on that as well?
Do you want me to check?
Yeah.
It's probably like 95.
In your analytics, it tells you.
Yeah, it'll be 95% dudes.
Awesome.
You know it.
Yeah.
18 to 25.
More like 40 to 50.
Yeah, god damn. I get all those weird DMs, eh? You do muscle cam show?
Let's go there. What sort of things have you been getting?
Dude, honestly, are we going to go into this? Like the weirdest things you've ever been DM'd? Oh, there you go. Not bad.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, look at that, eh? Yeah. I know.
Yeah. 12 weeks out.
Is that a C cup or D cup there?
There was a rumor going around that you were probably going to step on stage before you got back on the platform. Look at that. Look at that chest pump, hey?
That's he's got some handle. Yeah, look at this barn door.
Ooh.
Barn door. I love how this is, Greg. I don't think that's what Hamish meant by superimposing.
This is a quick and dirty.
Budget here, guys.
You've just saved me a bunch of editing.
This is a low budget fucking filming.
Exactly. Sorry for our
this is an avatar.
Sorry for our audio only listeners.
But no, I don't know. What's the consensus? I don't know. See where life takes me, I suppose.
Yeah.
So bodybuilding could be fun.
Just training and diet, keeping in check.
Yeah. Literally just training.
I would have thought you would have picked things back up now that things have quietened down with work. You didn't want to go nuts again?
Then we had the holidays and I went away and, so I'm still training like 4 or 5 times a week and just still eating, but I'm fucking, go out, have a few beers, etc., doing a bit of cardio, which is fun. got my resting heart rate down to like 60, which is pretty.
But you're reasonably ecto, like throughout all your 105s and or 100s and 110s. It's only really the last 2 or 3 years you sort of pack that extra body fat on to aid your lifting, right?
Yeah. Is there I don't know. Is there like, because I was like skinny fat. Is there a thing such as like endo ecto?
No, actually, I mean that's scientifically proven to be false anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm just using it in broad terms. You were reasonably lean and cut coming through. So this is kind of how you were most of the time leading into shows previous to 2017, 16.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. Do you guys believe in that like body fat set point like theory?
Well, you generally do tend to eat in a certain way, and I guess you can probably afford a few more calories and more muscle you have on you. But you kind of settle around. For me, it's around about 128, 130, and that's my new point. Whereas when I was bodybuilding, my set point was around about 112 to 115. Yeah. And I don't think I've put on much muscle since then. It's just the fat. It's kind of my body fat reset now, and my cup fit levels.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things. I don't know. I guess this is sort of like like I said in that post, I think this is maybe like my baseline that I can just like maintain and just sit around, which is cool because it's still like almost double my starting body weight.
Wow.
When I started training when I was 7. No, I'm kidding. When I was 16.
I understand. Oh shit. Drop out. Sorry, am I back?
Yeah, you just cut it for a second.
Sorry, I was playing the earpods, but they weren't working. You were saying, I think, weren't you saying, Jackson, that Scott?
Yeah, I think Scott Wasson has Crohn's, and he's managed to, I think, just learn to deal with it after a few years. You know, you try. I think it's that sort of thing. It's all trial and error, really, isn't it? And see.
Yeah, well, there's no hard and fast. There's surgery and medication you can take, but the diet component of it is completely independent. Everyone has a different thing. Like some would have to go plant-based because meat gives them the flare-ups, or gluten-free, whatever. There's so many different flare contributors, but everyone's different. So you have to start on the FODMAP diet, and then you have to start adding things in. I don't know if you guys have ever tried FODMAP diet. It's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Hard to follow that. So give me the surgery and the pills, mate.
A mate of mine, Rochelle, I've got a friend, Rochelle and I, he's probably on his 3rd or 4th specialist with gut issues and still hasn't got to the bottom of it. It's been years and years now. I caught up with him on the weekend and the other weekend for Rochelle's birthday, and he said, I'll fuck it. I'll have a couple of beers tonight. I'm going to pay for it tomorrow, but it's Rochelle's birthday, so we'll celebrate. But he fully consciously made the choice that he was going to definitely suffer the next day.
I definitely feel it, and you get really intimate with your bowel movements. It's not something I would have understood prior, but you kind of know what's going to happen and then how to prepare yourself best for it, because it's not just going to the toilet or having bloated belly. There's a lot of pain, a lot.
No, is that right?
So for him to make that call and say, I'm going to actually do it, it's a big sacrifice.
It didn't go nuts, but he just wanted to just to let his hair down.
Just a couple of drinks can do it, or it could be a cheeseburger and chips. Everyone's a bit different, but
I've got this, and I was talking to George the other day too, and he said that the same thing happens to him. If I touch sugar, typically in the evenings, if I have any sugar, the next day, it's like my joints, but it's not. I think it's more muscular. I've got no strength whatsoever.
Wow!
So I can't even get myself dressed. Like I just can't grip onto my clothes or do anything. It's really fucked. And I thought the other day, I had a bookie bar the other night thinking, oh, it'll be all right. But the next day, and I can't walk properly because feels like my hip flexors are frozen. I haven't looked into it. I don't know what it is. I don't think
so. Some kind of inflammation from the sugar.
Yeah, it's like an inflammation.
Specific areas.
Yeah. It's typically like around the hip flexors. So I struggle to lift I can't even lift my leg off the ground without actually physically lifting it, holding it.
Sure.
And I can barely grip anything too. And
can't pinch it.
Nah, and it lasts for about 2 hours.
Are they numb?
Yeah, it's a numb, but there's a complete weakness, and I've got no idea what it is. And
that's only a recent thing.
It's only been happening in the last probably 6 months. Yeah,
because you were doing carb backloading back in the day, right?
Oh, years and years ago. Yeah,
that would have been high sugar in the.
Yeah, exactly. I've never had much of a love affair with sugar. I've never really gone nuts on sugar my entire life, so I couldn't really put it down to being pre-diabetic or diabetic, but you never know. You never know.
It does sound. That absolutely sounds pre-diabetic.
It almost does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, exactly.
No, it does.
Yeah.
That is.
But what I do wonder if I have a shit ton of stuff with artificial sugar, even though Leighton Orton will attest to artificial sugars having absolutely no detrimental effect.
Don't be one of those guys, Greg.
Don't be one of those. Yeah, but I just wonder. I just wonder because I have a ton of caffeine and Monsters. Well, I don't have a lot of. I have probably a can of Monster every 2 or 3 days. But look, I don't know. I'm reaching right now, but it's interesting.
How old are you?
Just shy of 39.
Oh yeah, that might do it.
49, did you say?
I'll be 40. I could be 45 this year. So.
Really?
45. Yeah.
Yeah, him too.
What's that carb backloading? These are interesting. I like these discussions. You guys have obviously tried it. I tried it when I was younger as well. Do you reckon there's any rational behind like fasting or like carb backloading or like any of those sorts of things I noticed Mark Bell was doing like that carnivore month or whatever now. Do you think there's any specifics to these diets, or is it just like a fad? And
I don't know. Yeah, summarize your experience with diets over the years, Hamish.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about a carnivore diet, that's excluding certain food groups, and naturally that will make higher macronutrient profiles. And exclusion always leads to reduction of calories as well. Something like carb backloading, while it doesn't necessarily exclude all the time, limiting that window when you take it will naturally do that as well, which will naturally reduce the intake of calories. I think you guys were doing, because it was your whole club was doing it, right?
Yeah, we did. It was there was backloading and there was carb night. So basically, you're excluding carbs for the duration of I think it was a week, and then you would have one night a week where you had a window of about.
What were you having them in the evenings though? You were having nothing.
No, we weren't. No, but there was
because there was one diet where it was the opposite of no carbs after 5.
Yeah, that's carb backloading. Yeah.
Was that backloading?
Yeah. That was it's the opposite of that, and because we know that's full of shit.
Yeah.
That's why my argument was always, well, if that's full of shit, well, this one's full of shit as well then, because it makes no sense. But there is something around carbs around training and recovery time. If you train at night, that makes sense to have all of your carbs pre and post training, right?
Yeah. And carb cycling, that was a big one that I think you guys have both done carb cycling before. It's not too different from common sense, really, eh? I mean, obviously, you're not taking your carbs all throughout the day. And
you have no common sense if you're doing that. I remember I was a bodybuilder for about 7 or 8 years, and lack of carbs. Jenny will attest to that. My wife, I would have basically would break up every Friday because I hadn't eaten carbs all week, and I was just this angry, hollow man. And then I'd have carbs on the Saturday because it was a free for all.
Yeah,
and so we'd make up again on the Saturday night.
I would sit in the park with the kids with sunglasses on, thinking that I was spending time with them. But behind the sunglasses, my eyes were closed because I had absolutely no energy.
It still counts, Greg. Don't worry.
It still counts, yeah.
As long as you take the kids away from mum for an hour, it counts.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good time.
But I think actually you hit on that, and that's a completely different, bigger issue. But that was my mentality, and it was sad. And I realized that the diet component was the one thing that was holding me back in the rest of my life. And that was actually a switch point for me where I decided I was never going to bodybuild again because it just wasn't a healthy lifestyle. And of course, I met you guys in powerlifting and decided to flip sports because I'm not saying it's the healthiest of sports, but you can eat carbs and, the social aspect is really important component of powerlifting. And
That's always interested me. Can you be a successful bodybuilder and be successful at anything else at the same time? Concurrently. Obviously, successful bodybuilder, subsequently successful this and that. You put your attention into that, but while you're in a competitive mode, what kind of do you see competitive bodybuilders now that are in high flying jobs?
Not while they're competitive.
No,
it's impossible. But there's several powerlifting examples of doing really well in other areas of their life. I mean, bodybuilders. I'd be generalizing, but they flip between relationships a lot, and friendships. A lot of bitchiness and all that kind of dramas that goes. Not that it doesn't happen in every other sport, but especially in bodybuilding, it's just really not that.
I think there are exceptions to the rule, though. You've got people that just seem to thrive under that diet environment where they're excluding so many foods. They're just naturally, I don't know, they're wired that way.
And I think everyone thinks they can train and emulate a diet and be that, but you just can't. Like, especially people who are normally walking around at 20% body fat, you can't get down to 5%. These guys who are your Dexter Jacksons and will have the exceptional guys, they've never been over 10% body fat in their life. So trying to emulate that is just going to make you go crazy. So
Jackson,
why
is this a lifestyle for you?
Oh, dude, I wouldn't do it I'd do it to see how lean I could get, and that'd be it.
Because especially in your job, I don't know if you want to be too vacant.
Yeah, I don't want to put my sunglasses on and I'm watching guys, mate.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say, Greg, your first prep is your best prep?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It is, eh?
It's
so much anticipation. You've got your 12 or 16 weeks or whatever, and you're just focused on doing that.
Oh,
and then that becomes the benchmark. Yeah, and then knowing what you have to go through and do even more is just crazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'll probably be one.
There's no progressive overload like there is in powerlifting or any other sport. But you learn a skill in soccer or can jump higher for basketball or lift more weight. That becomes your base, and then you get better from there. But you've already got a base. But in bodybuilding, you put on fat again, and then you just have to lose it again. Imagine going to a meet and then totaling 1,000, and then suddenly you wipe out 500, and you got to start from 500 again. And then 1,010. It would be, it's probably quite demoralizing when you think about it like that. But, yeah,
I've got a lot of respect for bodybuilders to do it though, because it takes a huge amount.
That's what I mean. It is so hard. Yeah,
huge amount of discipline, huge amount of sacrifice. And good on them. And I just hope that they, on reflection, they have fond memories of their bodybuilding days. I've got some fond memories that obviously, probably for me, I think, the one or two cuts I did, that would have been it. I think by 3 or 4, I wasn't cut out for it, and it was overkill, and it was a waste of time. But that first one was fun. When you go for
when you see your abs for the first time properly.
Yeah, look, I was 120 kilos and overweight, strong as fuck, but I was overweight. And then when you lose it all and you think, fuck, I'm small, but hey, I've got abs. It was fun.
You rocked a few boats when you posted your comp photos, because I don't think anyone was really expecting it, Greg. You came in super sharp.
Yeah, no, props to Geordie for that one, because Geordie did a good job there.
And you did a pretty good undercover job where you weren't posting selfies every week like Jackson likes to do.
I was 100
Hang on. I'm pretty sure this is the first time. I'm going to have to count. I'm not. Don't quote me on that.
First time you had a hand first size.
Yeah, it'd be less than. I'd be able to count on one hand,
including stories.
Yep. Hamish, you're mixing up stories with the DMs that I sent you.
Oh, right.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Have to get you both on you two on Telegram?
Telegram? What's Telegram?
I'm on Parler Watch.
Oh, yeah, Parler Watch, eh?
Yeah, no, I'm not on Telegram, bro.
You gotta get
It sounds like an old person thing, eh?
Gotta get your stuff on Telegram. No, Telegram's been to the new social media platform
for
free speech. Yeah, some of my cryptocurrency stuff that I've been looking at, some of them are on Telegram. They don't post anywhere else. So, but it's absolute shite. I don't know what people see in it. It's like a glorified text messaging looking platform.
I've had a look at videos of people and screenshots, and it just looks so chaotic.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like it's one. Yeah, it's exactly post after post after post. There's no groupings. There's no.
Is it like Reddit?
Reddit?
Fuck no. No, Reddit's way more organized.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I'm not going to go on Telegram then.
No, don't go on Telegram, mate.
You're not
Jump
selling
on
it to me.
Reddit.
I don't even know where that came from, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen these things? I was listening to some one of Joe Rogan's podcasts the other day, and there's all these new apps and stuff popping up for like decentralizing the fucking news, etc. Is obviously, like say Telegram. There's Signal. I don't know what that's like the messaging one that like they're promising
There's a lot of
privacy or whatever.
There's a lot of crypto projects that are funded by the tokens that you buy, but the concept is decentralization. So decentralization in finance. So the taking away power away from the banks. Decentralization in gaming. So the gaming companies don't own the game; it's not hosted on their servers, but it's it's hosted in the cloud. So you own all the IP that is associated with your character. So there's that coming up. The metaverse, all these kind of things, all kind of like crypto. There's crypto backing for all of them as well. But I think they're talking about a decentralized social media platform. I think that's someone I heard the other day. That's going to be the big thing for 2022-23.
Yeah, I think that guy that left Twitter, that's what he's working on.
Jack Dorsey. Yeah. And I've heard that one as well. Yeah. Bloody all Elon Musk needs to do is tweet one thing about a crypto coin and everyone just fucking goes nuts.
Dude, did you see that you can now? I think Tesla's accepting Doge. Like Dogecoin.
Yeah, which is a shit coin, but it's got no value.
Tesla's accepting it, bro. I mean,
I know. So it's going through the roof.
Is that a reversal? Because they were accepting it, and then they said they weren't,
and now they are again.
Now they are again.
I don't know why he's doing Doge.
You know why he's doing it? Because he's bought heaps of Doge.
Yeah.
And so he bumps the price up.
And then he'll sell it.
He'll sell it, and then they'll figure out that he sold it, and he would have made another, 10 billion.
Exactly. So. They call it a rug pull when those kind of like scams like that.
Yeah. Good on him. Everyone's that stupid to take his word for everything. So but I'm ready for the metaverse. I'm going to be in there and.
Hamish is honestly why are we not doing the Zoom meeting with you in VR? Does that work?
I think all of us in VR would be pretty
need to. Because you can create your avatars, and so I could actually look like I lift again.
Is it quite a powerful?
And you could probably even VR some quads on. Some calves.
Yeah. Might just be a set of calves just sitting there.
No, I haven't even really had a good look at what metaverse is. I've seen a few parody videos, but I don't know, have they released like a proper look through? And I'm imagining like, I don't know if you play like 2K games where you have a virtual world where you have like a street with a house and your friends and there's ads, like virtual ads and stuff like that. That's what I'm picturing. But
I'm just picturing like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Probably chaos.
Absolute chaos. And it's just people just
running. A guy like rattling a fucking thing going, don't get your vaccine.
Well, they call it Web 3.0, don't they? But I think it's there's also that blending of of gaming and social media as well. I think that they want to bring those two together. So I don't know exactly what that would look like, but it's obviously a game where I don't know.
Farmville, bro. It's Farmville. That's the peak of Facebook gaming, social media gaming.
Is that right? Yeah. So people are just socializing and gaming, gaming. Yeah. It's going to be definitely like a Ready Player One environment where people are just going to fucking plug themselves in and start like that,
Yeah, I mean everything can be delivered to you, and you can live a virtual world. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a cartoon that I watched like 20 years ago, and it's all coming true.
Exactly. Yeah. I come home on the bus and like I don't think no one makes eye contact on the bus, so people are just fixated on looking at their phones. So it's I think just take away the hand and people are just going to have the screens, in front of them or embedded. Elon's got a neural link.
I was going to bring this up.
Imagine,
so like 5 years time, once he finishes Starlink, everyone has internet 24/7. Everyone's got a fucking chip in their head. Are they going to like beam ads into your head unless you pay for premium?
No, they're going to just make you think about something.
That's what I mean.
Right.
Like,
I would be so wary of that, Jesus. Yeah. It's going to be old-timers like us that just go, maybe not.
Well, hang on, Greg. Hang on.
Yeah, sorry. I put you in the same
Don't lump us all into that.
Sorry, we've got millennial right there. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably resist that. I'd be a little bit wary about having a chip in my head that could, it's connected to his satellites up there.
What if he gave you free internet for 6 months?
Oh, you've got me.
Yeah, sold.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It'd be like that, in Kingsman, where like Samuel L. Jackson. Spoilers if people haven't seen Kingsman.
But
where he gives everyone a free chip and he gives them free internet for a year or whatever, but the chip then makes everyone go crazy in their phones and they'll start killing each other.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a brilliant movie. That one.
Is that the latest one?
No, that's
that's the second one, isn't it? It's the second one, isn't it?
That's the first one.
Oh no, it's the first one. That's right. Because in the
second one's about the drugs.
That's right. Yeah.
Again, spoilers. Sorry.
Spoilers. Sorry, everybody.
But the first one is about 6 years old, so it's probably right.
Yeah. There's a Kingsman 3. I think it's in.
Yeah. I just downloaded it. I downloaded the first one and the second one, but I didn't actually watch them. So thanks for spoiling it, though.
All right, that's right. You're welcome. Well, you're the one that just said it was 6 years old.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I've heard that before.
So about that powerlifting.
So
I mean, what is it? Half an hour intro. Fun to get into it. Can I just say, I got an invite to the new 2022. Well, the equivalent, even better, the Wolfpack
I appreciate it.
Invitational meet, and I really appreciate the gesture. But let us know what's happening.
Well, it's not a gesture, mate. It's a fucking invitation.
Well, thank you. But I'm more interested to know who you reached out to, anyone that you've got your eyes on. That talk about the meet. What's happening?
Yeah, sorry. So I mean, when are we putting this up? Probably tomorrow. So this will be a day since this happened. But I sent out, I don't know, probably
tomorrow. No pressure on me then to get the editing done.
Wow, whenever you do it, Greg. sometime this week.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. So let's say it's Tuesday. Sent out the invites for the 2022 Wolfpack Invitational. I think our first round of invites anyway. I think I sent out 80 or 90.
Nice.
Just started with New Zealand people. I've had a few people ask internationally, but obviously borders aren't 100% open, obviously. So
I'll be a bit dubious about international for
so we'll just wait and see on that front. But so I think we should be able to have a sick comp just with New Zealand peeps anyway. So I sent out the first round of invites today. About half of them come back and said yes already. So it's looking like a good comp. I think we'll
premier event of the New Zealand powerlifting calendar, I think. Sorry, IPF.
Oh, sorry, GPC.
GP who?
But so we'll see what happens. It should be another sick meet. We've got a few. Obviously, we've got to build on last year, so a few new things lined up.
Venue wise, something a lot bigger, hopefully, as you're proving the demand is there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was with last year, like that was. I sound like the Auckland Transport Association, but that was unprecedented. We weren't ready for that,
Okay, Jacinda.
More buses, come on.
Yeah. So I mean, we clocked up 2,000 views on the live stream on the day last year.
Nice.
What was the ratio of New Zealand to international on that?
I was mostly New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
Not heaps of international, few over in Aussie, but I think it was just the time difference. You're not going to get heaps of UK or US people watching because it's like middle of the night for them, and they're all like, New Zealand don't know how to powerlift, So
what about replay views? Did you
replay views? It's about doubled, so it's up to about 4,000 now, I think.
Cool.
But yeah, obviously, I mean, Hamish, you were there in person. It was fucking. There were so many people. We were spilling out onto the street.
Yeah. It was insane, and people just turned up and then just left because they were already like 5 deep in the curve outside,
Yeah. So we'll build on that this year. We've got a few.
The VIP tables was a really good idea. I think that went really well too.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that again this year.
Haven't seen that before.
Well, I mean, it's. I mean, we've talked about it before, but like I think that's one of the things that powerlifting needs is like it's entertainment,
Yeah.
Treat the athletes like athletes. Treat it like an entertaining sport, even if you don't think it is. Like just make it interesting, make the battles known, make it simple to understand. I mean, you guys know what my view on how to make powerlifting
I think
successful is. You know, we're on the same page on that.
Yeah.
We've gone over it before, but yeah, so we'll just look to build on it from last year. We've still got another couple of just gym. So obviously the invitational was invitation only. But we still have another couple of just gym style meets as well. We've got Battle of the Den, which is start of April, and Summer Smash again, which is start of December. So
the Battle of the Den is mainly first, second meet kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean it's we've had a good mix actually at those comps, which is quite cool. Getting people. I mean, it's the same as the Viking Cup. You know, you get newcomers, but then you get the experienced people coming in as well. And we make it, you know, so you don't have to wear a soft suit. You know, it's pretty casual. The rules are all the same, but you don't want people to have to go and buy a specific belt or a specific knee sleeve or whatever to just have a go. You know, you want to have
pay a membership fee.
Yeah, you want to have as low a barrier to entry as possible. We do a entry fee just to pay the spotters and the refs and pay for the food and all that sort of stuff. But otherwise, that's all it is. You know, t-shirts if you want them. But yeah, so we've got 3 meets this year for Wolfpack, all down in Christchurch. Even though I'm Palmy, I'll just fly down for them.
Do you get cheap flights?
No, see, this is bullshit, really. To be honest, I'm going to put it out there in New Zealand, sort it out, all right? If you're listening. No, I mean
they will be. They will be.
Obviously, bro. The CEO's listening.
No, we advertise on their page.
Yeah. No, so I mean, as a controller, we charge the airlines for our service, so they don't like us because we charge them through the nose, obviously. So they're not after.
Pay for those fucking exorbitant salaries. That's why.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know how much you make, Jackson. You can afford those fucking tickets, mate.
I am quite literally. I'm quite literally the newest, and I'm not actually. That's a lie. There's one other person, so I'm the second newest controller. So I'm the second cheapest air traffic controller in the country.
Not for long. I'm sure you'll negotiate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can't negotiate. It's a union.
You'll find a way.
I'll find a way. I'll sort it out. Always do.
You'll be running that union at a time, mate.
Always do. I can't help myself.
Yeah. You can't just follow it. You've got to lead.
Nah,
you're sticking those in.
I'm one of those guys. But,
hey, look, we're all presidents or previous presidents of a Fed here, so we all know what you're saying.
Yeah, this is the thing. I feel like we're all the same, like a similar personality type. You know, we want to be in charge. We've got grand ideas and want to get shit done. You know.
We're passing the baton to you now, mate. You're in charge now. So it's a young man's sport, I think. You know, I think the oldies we need to step aside.
Already have.
Yeah, or the young blood will come in.
Yeah.
You know, that's a bit of a segue. Does the sport in New Zealand, does it need more? Are we seeing a lot of new talent coming through? You know, and do we need a new outlook on the way things are run?
Yeah, I don't think we are seeing the same level of new, fresh talent that we once did, like at the rate that we did.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, we were seeing people just burst onto the scene because it was such a fringe sport back in, I'm talking about like 2013, 14, 15, when it kind of emerged.
It was when Raw first started.
Yeah, but people would just turn up on their first meet and, you know, win meets, but it's very unlikely now. There are still people on the fringe, a few people on the fringes. I benched the other day with a guy that would be 22, 23, weighed 127, and he benched, what did I say? It was like 500 pounds for 6 or so. And that's the most he'd ever benched before, and he did it for 6. And then we had, I was like, I'll have a competition, how many you can bench at 140. And I think I did 23, and I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
He did 32. And I was like, far out. And I was like, oh, you need to jump on and do a meet. You're just crazy strong. Like with a little bit of tweaking, I could get you up to 250. He's like, I don't think I'm strong enough yet. It's like,
wow, yeah,
crazy.
So there is a few beasts, but they are very few and far between now, right?
But hang on. Are we talking new talent as in? Because I think new talent that wins comps is a bit unrealistic. There's more powerlifters in New Zealand now than there ever has been. I would argue that.
I would say definitely in the time that I've been associated with sport, for sure.
So is that not like?
I don't know. Are we? Have we taken a real big hit because of COVID? Have we seen a lot of people leave the sport? Or
I feel like they probably just haven't competed.
Yeah,
there's been no comps.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if the numbers, correlate. It'd be actually interesting for someone to go on, maybe not us, but to go into open powerlifting and see if the numbers of people competing in 2021. I mean, it would have taken a hit, obviously, but just to see year on year, are the numbers increasing or are they remaining pretty static? We hear about the heydays. Is powerlifting is it past its heyday, or does it need a bit of a resurgence?
I think you'll see a resurgence 2022. I mean, the thing is that so last year, Wolfpack, we had our first year. I missed the numbers, but I think we had 180 lifters over the year. Not all individual, but we had 180, 200 entrants over a year.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. Over 4
That's
comps.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, a lot of those were Christchurch based. Yeah, would you say the bulk were?
Oh, the bulk's Christchurch based because it's all South Island based at least.
South Island based, yeah.
Nelson, Dunedin, Christchurch.
Well, there's not too many choices down there, isn't there? I mean, you guys dominate down in Christchurch, don't you? I mean, outside of the IPF.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, even I wouldn't quote me on this. Actually, I would probably. Our gym meets are bigger than their novice meets.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So the newcomers into the sport.
So I'm just on open powerlifting now. I know this isn't like a complete exhaustive list of competitors, but last year, 2021, there was 700 lifters registered who did a meet that ranked in open powerlifting.
In New Zealand?
In New Zealand, yep. All New Zealand feds. In 2020, it was 698. But previous years, it was like 740, 750. I'm just back at 2016 now. It was 830. So definitely looks 900 back in 2015.
Oh, interesting.
So okay. we are seeing a slight degradation. Yeah.
What needs to happen, you guys? What do you guys think what do you guys think needs to happen?
I would say that I don't know. Yeah, when's that 900 from, Hamish? 2015, 2016. 2015.
What was the number? Who was the number one lifter in 2015?
Here we go. Hamish already knows. It's probably fucking him.
It absolutely isn't.
Yeah.
It's Brett Gibbs. I'm number 2. But
are you going on formula or total, bro? There's no
formula. Total wise,
come on.
It was me. Yeah. But yeah, formula wise, it was Brett Gibbs. He went 800.5 at 82.8, which I think was an all-time world record at the time. I saw as a guy today, he went 910. Blake
LaHue, yeah. Actually, Hamish knew that I was going to ask that question, so he could say, "Oh no, by total, it's me." He knew I was going to ask that question.
I actually had no idea, and actually no, I was wrong. By total, Joseph Whittaker beat me slightly. So
that's never too late.
I was first to 900, Joe? So anyway.
That's interesting to see that it's taken a dip. I mean, obviously, I think COVID's played a role in that, but we're not seeing exponential growth. We're seeing growth in maybe single digits, if that.
So you're not getting any of the lifts from what's the Wellington comp again? Next
Viking
comp.
Cup.
Viking Cup. They have about 50 odd lifters. Probably some are probably.
And Wolfpack, only the Invitationals on open powerlifting.
Yeah. So and obviously Anne just got her fed meets, which I'm not sure have been registered. So
they will have been now.
They will be now. Okay.
Yep. Because Metal Militia. Yep.
Okay.
So I mean, I think you'll see a
resurgence. But between your meets and Viking Cup,
so.
Is another 60, 70 lifters, right?
That
aren't competing under a federation. So
yeah.
So the you guys obviously know this, but for the listeners, big news is that that IPL will cease to operate. IPL NZ will cease to operate post their next nationals, which I believe's February, isn't it? Late Feb.
Yeah,
mid Feb. Yeah, mid Feb. So yeah, leaves a bit of a vacuum. Not having IPL NZ or IPL in the country, but we've got the introduction of Middle Militia, which I know nothing about. I don't know if you guys, either of you speak to it?
So IPL NZ had 29 registered lifters get a meet record in open powerlifting last calendar year. So I'm assuming that most of them will probably continue lifting. Hope to see them in GPC or Wolfpack meets. And I know a lot of these names. I'm sure they will. In fact, some of them are actually already members of other feds as well. So, but the Middle Militia, they look like they've got. Well, the calendar is quite a exhaustive one. They had about 7 or 8 meets, including
that was combined Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, it was a combined Australia and New Zealand list here, but that's good. I mean, obviously, it gives people options in Australia.
I think Ange is doing 4 meets in New Zealand, which is pretty cool.
They're equipped. Is there a linkage there with the Middle brand?
She's got, I believe, Middle Militia was like an equipped fed in Australia, and then they're doing some raw meets as well. So I mean, Ange is doing a bench only meet 19th of March. She's doing a 3 lift 11th of June in Hamilton. A 3 lift raw and equipped nationals October 1st in Auckland, and a push pull December 3rd in Auckland. So it's a good variety there for people to get amongst the sport, you know.
Yeah, I think every opportunity to have a go is an opportunity to get more talent, more people in.
Yep. But so that's plenty of meets, and I mean, what's GPC got on the calendar for this year? The delayed 2021 nationals coming up.
Yep. So the rebranded 2021 nationals. So basically, everybody who entered for that. God, when was the original date? We moved it so many times.
August.
Was August, wasn't it? Yeah.
We went into lockdown. About 4 or 5 days prior to that.
Thanks, COVID. So that is now.
I was humming for that one. I was coming for that title.
Oh, it would have been yours too, mate. Would have been yours.
I don't know.
Yours
would have given it a good crack, man. Would have given it a good crack.
What, in bench only again? Or
no, 3 lift. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No,
I was pulling 210, mate. I was there.
you seem to count single lifts as national titles.
Are you trying to say I don't have 7 overall national titles? What a scandalous accusation.
Oh, I thought that
wow.
was quite a specific number there, yeah. So this coming up this weekend, Mike with Train Station has got his New Zealand Open. The New Zealand equipped NZE, not
cool.
New Zealand Open. Sorry, so New Zealand equipped only meet, and it's only I think there's a single flight from memory, Hamish, but that's a dedicated group of equipped lifters. You know, if you'd asked me a year or two if we'd ever see equipped again, I probably would have gone, I don't know. You know, it's
you see your fringe guys, mainly guys in their 40s who have a few shoulder injuries, and like me and you, Greg. That's about it.
That F8 shirt sounds quite appealing. It sounds like it does all the lift for you, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, guys are getting near on 100 kilos out of it. So
Jesus, yeah. I used to get 100 kilos out of that bloody.
Is it a rubber band one? Is it? Is it a rubber band?
I don't think we call it a rubber band shirt officially, but it has been compared to that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
get one of those.
It's quite unique in the sense that it gets its own division within GPC. Like you can't. It's not included.
It's unlimited, is it?
Yeah. You can't mix it up with single ply or double ply from my understanding at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I saw that in the GPC world group. It's got It's got its own classification and bench only.
Imagine that, like you're just out at a pub one night and some random guy's like, "Fuck, you look like you can bench heaps. How much you bench, bro?" 360, bro.
Yeah. I think it's the kind of shit you probably wear to a pub too, and just if you wore something over the top, you could demonstrate that 360.
Imagine it, just the push power, right? Yeah,
then you need to bolt down the street because you'd be chased by some Italian dudes. So.
Italian bouncer, right? Yeah. Are you wearing a shirt
that? Classic guy. We should try and get that guy. Jackson A. We should try and get that French guy on the podcast one of these days.
No, he's like you just don't give him airtime.
Don't give him airtime.
No, you don't give that guy airtime.
Oh, come on! I want to know. I want to know all about what kind of how big a ball do your balls need to be to go equipped in a raw IPF meet?
Why are you being so judgmental?
How long's it?
Get them all. Like, do you think Joe Rogan would have someone not on his podcast because people thought he was a cheater?
I'm sure he would.
I'm sure he would.
He's literally specifically picks people that agree with his viewpoint.
Fair enough.
Sometimes.
I think he's across the board. Actually, no, I can't speak confidently about that, but
he's been called out a few times.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously got his agendas and so forth. Yeah.
He has some good yarns, though. I mean, he's the world's biggest podcast. He's behind second biggest behind us.
Yeah, we can't really.
When you're talking about biggest, are you talking like physical size or audience?
That's what I'm saying. So he's doing something right.
Well, that's why I'm conscious about what we talk about. I don't want to get called out too on New Zealand media as well. You know, it's happened before.
Stuff picks it up.
Exactly.
New Zealand powerlifting podcast. You know, gets sued for defamation.
Defamation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the GPT calendar, you've got the New Zealand equipped. In fact, that's next weekend. Hamish and I and Geordie are reffing that. We're looking forward to catching up with everybody down there. Shame you can't come up for that, Jackson. That'd be fun, bit of a reunion.
Mike's, he's a hell of a character, so he's going to put on a really good meet.
Yeah,
it's good value. Yeah,
it's going to have a few quirks to it, I'm sure.
One of the big personalities of the sport, and it's we need some more of those too. So it's good on you, Mike. The rebranded 2021 Nationals is the SummerSlam Nationals in late Feb that Josh is hosting at Acton 3 Gym. So looking forward to that. And then it's back to Mike's gym again, March 26th for the TA Slay's famous TA Slay train station event, end of March. Then we are with Michelle. I don't know her last name, but based in
Michelle. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but Jurkovic.
Possibly, yeah. She's debuting her Beauty and the Beast event. I think she's occupied Dan Rudolph's old gym as well. Got her own little boutique powerlifting gym there. So
in a body, I think it is.
In a U, I think it is.
In a U, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
The Inner U studio. So that's and then,
it's just down the road from me, but I've never actually trained there. So it's
you should.
I think it's more of a girls' gym, but yeah.
I mean, guys can do hip thrust, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that for Beauty and the Beast, they definitely need some beauty. So,
yeah, obviously.
Sounds like your benching will be on par with most of the girls there.
Probably that.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Proving Grounds. Josh is Proving Grounds, which is his novice entry level meet. All welcome. I think he's got some big plans for it. It's going gangbusters, getting bigger and bigger by the year.
Nice.
So it's good to see. And then we've got some other events that are not quite locked in yet for the remainder of the year from June onwards. So can't really comment on those ones just yet. So love to get the calendar locked in every year, but it doesn't invariably happen. It's work in progress. But
what did NZPF end up doing with the nationals? Was it rescheduled, cancelled?
Cancelled from last year.
22, bring the 22 forward, so it's a bit earlier, or
so they cancelled it because obviously COVID, the lockdown hit when they were on day one last year, and then they tried to put it in like November or like early December, and people were just like, well, I'm not going to do it on like 4 weeks training or whatever.
Well, they wouldn't have been able to do it anyway because Auckland couldn't get out or train.
Yeah. So they just canned it. So they've got a pretty packed calendar for this year coming though. their nationals this year is again mid-late August, 17th till the 20th of August. They've got TBC, so I don't know where it's going to be. I feel like Canterbury have said yes, maybe again.
They're definitely taking a lead with IPF national meets, bigger events anyway, and they seem to pull it off and do a really good job.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, IPF have a pretty packed calendar. I mean, they've got lots of. They're following the standard routine of novice comps, sort of February, March. The regional sort of comps, or they count them as provincials actually. Provincial sort of comps. So Auckland, Northland, Southern, Canterbury, etc. is all sort of late March, early April across the board. And then their regionals is South Island and North Island, which is end of May, start of June. And then, yeah, nationals, late August. And then they've got Commonwealths in here as well for Auckland for end of November, start of December, which, yeah, again, that got cancelled last year. So we'll see if it goes ahead.
I guess you've got to put a stake in the sand and commit to the best outcomes. Obviously, we're not living in an environment at the moment where there's certainty. Omicron hasn't even hit yet, so what kind of effect is it going to have on the sporting scene, powerlifting scene, New Zealand as a whole for this coming year? It's been a hard yards. Hey, being a powerlifter, it hasn't been easy. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things you got to just say, right, this is when it's going to be. If it happens, it happens. Especially a big meet like that. Like, I mean, all of us know Hamish when he comes back. I don't know if he's just fucking disappeared, but
Hamilton internet. I think it's too flash.
And the wop-wops, eh?
Yeah, it's dial up.
Yeah, still, he's got that sound, and everyone knows that sound.
There he is. Yeah, right, mate. Did Pornhub start up, or what happened?
Kicked him off, yeah.
Sorry, just bedtime with the kids. So just give them a kiss in the paddle and say goodnight.
Oh, that's nice, mate.
Nice.
You didn't need to hang up for that. It would have been gold, mate. Podcasting gold. It's good to show us off.
Friendly.
It's good to show us off the side of Hamish too.
It's all our show.
It often comes across as being the hard man, but in reality,
I'm not sure you're being sarcastic or not. Anyone thinks I'm hard or unapproachable or whatever.
Always a tough guy. Yeah.
I wouldn't agree with that, but okay.
It's the tattoos.
So sorry, interrupt you there.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about
how much goes into. I was just gonna say how much goes into like a big meet like that, So you sort of
the multi-day ones, yeah.
Yeah, you have to put a line in the sand and just say, look, this is when it's going to be, and run with the punches. Organize it for if it's then, and then if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
What do you?
Which is unfortunate.
Each of you have any thoughts on or predictions for international meets with the New Zealand element to it in 2022? Do you think they'll happen? Do you think?
Ask aren't you mates with Clark Gayford, aren't you?
Yeah. I did actually flick him a text to say, look, got a couple of events coming up. Can you pull any strings? Yeah.
Well,
there's certainly no international events scheduled for within New Zealand, right?
Well, that's what I was just saying, is that NZPF have got the Commonwealth and Commonwealth Powerlifting Champ scheduled for late November, early December.
That's a possibility, I suppose.
Yeah, and Worlds for IPF is scheduled for early October in Canada, which
it's certainly more reasonable to expect that MIQ will be allowed. That's the only thing holding us back at the moment is MIQ coming back in, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think MIQ will be a thing of the past, I think, in November. I mean, they're already looking to disestablish it anyway and have people isolating at home.
Oh, they would have already if Omicron hadn't been a threat. But that would have run through us by then, surely. And so there'll be no valid reason why they'll be stopping people from leaving and coming back by then, as long as you follow stay-at-home protocols, testing, and whatever. So
yeah,
I definitely think we can look ahead to maybe even, God knows, August, September. We might be able to go off and where's the GPC Worlds 2022?
Poland, isn't it?
I want to. Yeah, I was going to say
Really?
Poland. That's the first name that sprung to mind too. Poland. Yeah, it just tends to circulate around those Eastern Bloc countries. Just tends to stay in that area.
Well, dude, it's because they get so many lifters there. I mean,
out of those 600 or whatever we had, wouldn't it be like? Was it 150 were from Serbia? Dude, another 100 were from Croatia.
When we went to Serbia, there was 900 starts. So that's not 900 lifters. People into multiple events. But you pay an entry fee for each event. So that's 900 starts. You think how much money is putting into those events?
Yeah. No, it's absolutely gold for promoters, and I don't blame them. It's a little bit frustrating for lifters outside of those countries. Who am I kidding? Australia, New Zealand, because obviously it's a trend.
So they had the 2015 Worlds were in America,
Vegas,
in Vegas. And I don't know how big that was, but was there even an American lifter there the next year? So they weren't attracted to GPC. They were attracted to the fact that there was a world champs at in the country.
Yeah.
So that's probably why the Eastern European countries are probably less likely to want to branch out to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like in the States that the biggest pool is either IPF or IPL, which is USAPL. USPA.
Yeah.
But now there's WRPA.
Is that the IPL? Is that the IPL affiliate?
Yeah, USPA. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's it's been mixing up a bit over there at the moment because obviously WRPF has brought about their Pro Series thing. I don't know if you guys saw that go down. They tried to say, I think. So they basically are trying to bring about like a Pro Series, which is like the Olympia pre-circuit, to qualify for the top show or meet. So they're basically trying to bring about a Pro circuit where you do X, Y, and Z meet that they've approved, and you get points based on how you place. Or they hadn't really explained how the placings were going to work, but it was either how you place or
is that for qualifying
your Wilk score or whatever. So I think the tail end of it was that there wasn't going to be one pinnacle event. I think it was just that was the standings.
So is that like a Formula One thing where if you win a meet you get points?
Yeah,
at the end of the season, if you say 10 meets, the person with the most points wins.
Yeah, so they never explained it. They never explained whether it was. So last year it was what was your average Wilks out of the 2 or 3 meets that you did for them, which was okay, which made sense. That's fine. And so then this year they never explained if it was going to be the same or if it was going to be cumulative or if it was going to be on placings. And then 7 weeks out, so there's a meet coming up which is 4 weeks out or so at the moment called the Ghost Clash. And so they tried to say, right, at 7 weeks out, I think it was, right, this is a compulsory meet if you want to be involved in the Pro Series.
Yeah, I can imagine that didn't go down well.
And everyone just fucking toys were throwing. Obviously, the people that had already entered agreed. They were like, yeah, fuck, who cares? It's all good.
Of course.
But anyone who hadn't entered, didn't even have Peloton on their radar for the start of the year, had entered in, actually we'll go back to this, but the hybrid showdown, which has just been, anyone who had entered that would now not be eligible for the Pro Series, which is, they obviously didn't take kindly to that. So they quickly rescinded that. So I'm not sure how it's going to go down. There's very little organization on that front at the moment, it seems, of how it's actually going to work.
I like that they're thinking outside the box because that goes back to the question, is there something new that we need to bring to the table? I mean, the lifting will always be the lifting, but it's a way of making it more competitive. And I mean, were they going solely in classes or were they doing cross-class?
Well, it seemed to be cross-class because it was based on Wilks last year.
Okay.
But then they never explained it this year if they were going to do it on placings, maybe. Like if you get first, you get 10 points, second, you get 9, etc., etc.
So the big thing about it, if it's a Pro Series, it's going to be the prize money, right? What was the prize money for?
Oh, I think last year, again, I think, don't quote me on it, but I think the top lifter got an extra 20 grand or something.
Okay, so it's not like the US Open where they were getting 50, 60 grand, right?
The top lifter at the US Open got 35.
American.
American. This was 20 grand American as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is that the US Open, etc., was all part of the meets for this Pro Series. So the Pro Series was just the cherry on top to maybe make it a salary for you, sort of thing. If you're the best, if you're John Hack.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, if they could find the balance in it, that's going to be acceptable, and obviously give a lot more notice in 7 weeks.
Yeah.
If you set this up for 2023, and just letting everybody know you've got a year to prepare for this, and we're only maybe it's invitational only for some of these meets, so you need to perform this year to even get an invite. If you're serious about powerlifting, and bring the sponsors in, and it's like maybe the top 10 guys have got a salary, suddenly it becomes more attractive. But they need to be more organised, obviously. But I like where they're going with it. It's cool that they're thinking outside the box.
Yeah, thinking outside the box. I think that's what we need more of, really. But so obviously, so that's going down. So WRPF's throwing money at stuff, and throwing up some big meets, which is cool. USPA over there is throwing up some big meets. USAPL, obviously, there was the split from IPF, so there is now a new Powerlifting America, which is the new IPF affiliate, which is it seems to have been similar to when WP and IPF split here. It's just divided the top lifters, which is a shame.
Okay, so now you've got 50-50 split across them at the moment, or
seems to be, it's
that's interesting. I would have thought it'd been different. I would have thought the top lifters would have stuck with IPF.
Well, they want to compete. The top lifters want to compete internationally. So when the IPF is taken away from those meet affiliations and qualifying, then they're going to have to go with the local affiliate that can afford them those qualifications.
So I mean, because USAPL have basically then announced their Pro Series. So they had the Virginia Pro end of last year that Ashton Rushka won. So that was a pretty sick meet. So USAPL have basically said, hey, all the money that we were spending on affiliation, etc., which was somewhat in the region of 200 grand a year, we're going to put towards pro meets and give back to the lifters. So a lot of the lifters have said, oh, we'll stick with you then. They know they put on sick meets. If you're into strobe lights and laser screens like Greg is.
Fuck yeah, bring it on. That's what this podcast needs too.
Some strobe lights.
Yeah.
There's some firecrackers behind you.
But then obviously, and now Powerlifting America has announced a few meets this year as well, a decent calendar. They've announced the nationals already. So that's now the pathway to the IPF in the US.
Interesting, Interesting. Yeah. It's definitely a dynamic environment over in the USA with powerlifting.
Yeah, and I mean, the top lifters have literally split 50-50, it seems, between Powerlifting America and USAPL.
Where's Taylor gone?
Powerlifting America.
Okay, yeah. I thought
he's already said he's prepping for IPF Worlds.
Yep.
I mean, that kid's a fucking freak.
Phenomenal, yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then, but then, like, say, Ashton Rushka's stuck with USAPL.
Interesting, yeah.
Well, I mean, the volume of lifters over there is just phenomenal. I'm just online now. You've got 33,000 lifters who lifted just last year, and that's with COVID restrictions. So that's, what's that, like 50 times more than us, 500 times more than us?
Yeah, just crazy.
Yeah.
The something like it's something crazy. The third biggest fed over there, so there's like the USAPL and the USPA sort of battle it out, and then the third biggest fed over there is the Texas High School Powerlifting Association, because powerlifting is like a school subject. They have like 11,000 members.
The maths doesn't quite add up on that, but
or whatever it is.
It was probably more than us in total in New Zealand. By a multiplier of 5 or 6. But
and they all lift in single ply as well.
That's crazy, eh? Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine just having like a 16-year-old learn how to squat and chucking them in a squat suit.
Yeah, I know.
So if you're a manufacturer, you're making bank.
Oh yeah.
You've got a captive audience of 5,000 kids.
Yeah.
And they're coming through, and they've probably only got 3 years of lifting, and so the next ones will be coming through.
It makes it easier for powerlifting, gyms to specialize in powerlifting as well. Whereas over here, you're taking a real gamble if you do want to specialize.
We're stoked to get 15 equipped lifters in one meet.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, which is kind of sad in a way. Powerlifting's been around since the 70s, and we're 50 years later. We're struggling to get 15 people in an equipped meet at least. But I guess, in fairness, equipped has been on holiday for a while. It's come back strong.
Has it?
It will. I think, this is the year where it debuts in a standalone meet.
I think if anyone's going to make a splash, it's going to be, people like Mike creating a hype around it.
Yeah. And you've got to make it. Yeah. And you got to make it accessible. You've got to make it equipment, sexy, and you got to make it easy. It's not something you can. It's not easy.
How can we make? I know how you make it sexy. We could do a calendar with Jackson wearing equipment.
You could do arseless.
Just a bench shirt.
Yeah, arseless squat suits.
That wouldn't have that's a very essential component to the fabric. So I don't know. You just wouldn't get as much.
I don't know if you wouldn't get much.
Yeah, but it's sexy. So that's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, you still get 30 kilos.
Yeah, you still get something out of it. I'm just looking up. I was just going to say what's World Powerlifting up to, and I've just looked up on their website, and they have only 2 events locked in for now. Is the NZ Masters Games, early Feb in Dunedin, and the 2021 Oceania Champs.
So is there they've decided to enter powerlifting into the Masters Games, and they're fully up for it? Is that what you're saying?
I assume
Masters Games is massive. They get I'm just guessing, putting a number out of my ass, but something like 5,000 competitors from around the country.
Yeah, so they must be the powerlifting affiliate. Yeah,
it's all sorts of sports. It's great.
Yeah,
you'd probably qualify for a couple of them, Greg.
I laugh, but it's probably true. Yeah,
some of them actually, you only have to be, I think it's 30.
Yeah, no, they classify. Yeah, you're nearly there, Jackson, too.
Almost a master. I'll take advantage.
Oh, if you're not quite a master, but you're definitely a has-been. But
I am. That's good. I was waiting for it. I accept that. I am a has-been. I'm 100% a has-been.
You peaked early, mate. You're like that girl at high school who peaked it. Sorry, grade 13 or whatever it is. Yeah, 13.
Yo, aren't you supposed to peak? Isn't powerlifting supposed to be a long game? You're supposed to peak like 40.
For the exceptional lifters, sure. But,
yeah, not the average lifters like me.
It's more around time under tension, right?
Yeah.
How many years do you have of that peak level? And you could argue it's probably, for most people, it's probably about 5 or 6 years max. It's generally what you see. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, that's one of the things, eh?
And you've used yours already, man. But you could do like a Colin Cox and go away for 10 years and then come back and then wipe the table again. So yeah,
that's it. The semi-retirement.
Got the bug, Jackson. Do you ever look at any events and go, maybe?
Every comp that I run.
It's been a year, Greg.
Yeah, but legit, every comp that I'm at.
Yeah.
Every comp that I'm at.
Yeah, it must grind your bones to see people you could beat. No one in particular.
Honestly, I could not think of a nicer guy for the first 1,000 kilo total to go to than Joe.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't talking about Joe.
I'm very pleased that Joe got it.
If anyone could get it, and it wasn't going to be you, I'm glad it was him.
Yeah,
sure.
100%.
Yeah. Well, he was there for so long.
Oh yeah,
it's like just crossing the finish line. He was capable of it for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a good moment.
And
then we're going to see Cole obviously take it this year if he comes back strong.
Yeah, so he's a maybe at this stage for the Invitational.
What's he doing at the moment? Strongman.
Just chilling out. I think he's focusing on his business.
Okay. Cool.
Focus on the business, the family. So he's a maybe at the moment. But
not calling him out or anything, but I hate when people say like that. But he did seem like he peaks really well, right? And I think it might have been a video he put up like maybe 3 or 4 weeks after the Open or the Invitational, and I think he was pulling like 320ish, and it looked like a max lift, And this is only a couple of weeks after peaking and going 400. I mean, I don't know what it's like to lift 400, but it's a pretty severe drop off, right? It must be quite a bridge for him to go, fuck, I have to go through that again.
Yeah, I mean,
back up to that.
I guess it's the same. Yeah, that like that's the whole point of a peak, isn't it? And then you've got to fucking just swallow your pride on the way back down.
Yes, you accept it, eh?
Yeah.
If you can pull in the gym 4 weeks after what you could at the meet, you didn't peak well at all.
You haven't peaked. No,
you didn't even peak. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone said to me one time, they were like, if you're at your best all the time, you are fucking average.
You don't have a best.
Yeah, you are average. And I was like, that is fucking true.
Yeah.
So that made me stop maxing out in the gym all the time.
Yeah. Actually, fuck, I wish you'd told me that like 10 years ago.
I should have told you,
Yeah.
Mr. Max out himself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everyone.
Well, what Instagram? Like, I'm gonna have vids. I got to get my 16 likes.
Got to keep the fans happy.
Dopamine.
You know, see, this is it. What did you guys like? How many people on Instagram do you reckon? I know because I know there's a few people that do it, but like bank up content, so they'll have like a few heavy weeks of training, fucking save all the videos and photos and stuff, and then post them like sparingly for the next like couple of months.
Well, I know you're like me, and you'll post all 3 lifts.
Oh, straight away.
Like while you're still at the gym.
Like while I'm sitting on the leg extension, just sweating. Yeah.
Like feeling accomplished as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm going to share this right now. Like, how many people do I know? Bodybuilders will do photo shoots. They might do 3 or 4 within the week after, and they'll have changes of clothes and scenery and everything. So then they'll bank it and post it later. But powerlifting, I can't imagine anyone will do that. Can you point to an example? Not necessarily a person, but have you seen it?
Oh no, yeah. You see, I've seen it in the UK when I was in the UK. But I know that Larry Wheels does it.
Well, he's a bit different. He's like a social media influencer, and
Yeah, but maybe that's where we're going wrong.
Well, you're the one with the 50,000 fans. I don't know.
No, so yeah, I don't know, man. It's an odd one, but I can definitely see how it happens for bodybuilding because it's just photos, and you get a throwback Thursday, a flashback Friday.
Well, it's a simple social media strategy. Is it's got to consistently have content that engages.
Yeah.
And if you've got your craft, you need to be showing yourself doing that often, and you can't control. Like, I guess you want to be showing your peak as well all the time, right? So. Oh yeah. But you're not showing your progression, which I think a lot of people like follow. I like following people for their progression and seeing last week they did 10 kilos more than this week. Or shout out to Troy Marshall. But no, it's good to see. I like to see that building up. I think maybe we're a little bit, more entrenched in what powerlifting training is really like, and the majority of your followers just want to see you lift some fucking heavy shit. But that's when the circus acts come out. Like, we all do them. Like, for a while there, I was doing things like, I'm going to total 800 kilos in under a minute. Just going and doing the 3 lifts one by one.
When did you do that?
I exaggerated on 700. But,
I was gonna say,
it was 90 seconds. Just whatever. Anyway, just stuff like that, And was it detrimental to your proper training? Maybe not.
I've been there. I did that deadlift ladder on my last deadlift workout.
You love those ladders. Yeah.
Dude, that was sick.
What'd you go to? 340?
I did 60 to 340 and back down.
I actually remember that as well.
Was that your most highly engaged post of the year as well? So people love it. You got to give them.
I think so.
Yeah.
Want, right? Yeah. See, this is the thing. That's dangerous. If you actually were really into that shit, you would just, and then I'd be like, fuck, I better do that again next week.
Yeah. Where do you go from there? Just you end up jumping the shark, and you're doing Juju Mufu Fitness, whatever his name is, stuff. He's squatting 300 kilos on bands, standing on top of 2 dumbbells.
What's his name? Actually, we need to get this guy on the podcast. Huck Finn?
Is he the...
rings a bell, but I don't know.
He's the guy that they pour... I've seen them pour Zambuca on him, and they set it on fire while he's benching and shit.
Oh, Jesus. That's awesome.
Is it? That sounds pretty horrible. Yeah.
It's good. It's good value, man. And he'll be doing a beer funnel while he's inclining 400 pounds.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's
sick. So the original. Oh, sorry, Karen.
I was going to say he benched I saw him. I think it was 4 plates. He was benching 4 plates on a thing while he was getting dragged around a cow field by a tractor.
I mean, what's his name? Kirill does some pretty crazy things too. Well, I haven't seen anything too crazy from him lately, but he did that benching under in the pool once as well.
Would that be easier?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course it would. Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, I don't know. Would it?
Oh wait, because so he's underwater as well.
He's underwater. Yeah, I mean, 400 kilos. I mean, whatever it was, 4 plates aside is still 4 plates aside underwater.
It's probably hard to get leg drive, and it's probably even.
I don't know if the water actually.
So what did he do? 400 kilos.
No.
400 pounds.
It was yeah.
Oh, well, it's definitely harder than.
Yeah, I feel like we need to try this. We need to.
I think.
All right, let's do that. I mean, we don't have a meet lined up anytime.
Full shout out to anybody who wants to try that.
Yeah. Someone who's listening, who's listened this far, who has a pool, let us know.
I don't think there's one left. There's no one left. Yeah.
All right, I'll give $100. I'll give you 100 Doge if you can quote this in the comments below.
I think Doge is quite expensive at the moment. You be careful on that one.
Nah, it's only about 30 cents, bro.
It's Doge only 30 cents. Yeah,
it might skyrocket though. You don't know.
Yeah, I bought it at 50 as well. So. There was someone watching live.
Well, yeah. Well, do you reckon will you guys point GBC to accept Doge as entry fee?
I thought about that the other day, actually, thinking
why not?
But Bitcoin. Yeah, we'll take Bitcoin.
Yeah, be the first Fed in New Zealand to accept crypto for entry fees.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of there
are prize money in crypto.
Prize money, yeah. I mean, there are retailers in the US who are taking crypto.
Dude, when I was younger, this is when I was playing with the boys. I had a couple of mates who were like, really into gaming, and they would enter like those tournaments and shit. And so one of them played Counter-Strike, one of them played Battlefield, and then we all played Dota, but sucked. But anyway, so they would enter tournaments. I feel old now
because those are quite modern games, and I'm definitely I'm definitely old.
But the fucking one of the prizes at this tournament is like, and I saw a tweet about it recently, is that like it was like $500 for first or whatever per person, $300 for second, for whatever it was, and then it was like 5th place was like 3 Bitcoin, and I was like,
what the hell?
Because this is back when Bitcoin was.
Back in the day, I was going to say.
Yeah, like when that would have been worth like probably $5 or something.
Yeah, they're worth like $1 each, and now it's like that person's laughing. If they've still got them, they probably spent it on crap.
They probably gave it away when it got up to $2,000. Yeah,
probably. They would have. They actually would have sold it when it was 100. There's like everyone says, "Oh, I wish I held on to my Bitcoin and stuff." And so, well, what did you do with it? I sold it. It's like, well, if you hadn't sold it then, you would have sold it when it hit 100, or you would have sold it when it hit 1,000.
Yeah.
No one can hodl.
No, exactly.
Useless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Bitcoin's a finite supply too, so who knows what the price is going to do.
But anyway, back to powerlifting. This is great. Honestly, this I love this. As we were saying, Hybrid Showdown was on the weekend.
Yep.
I don't think it was any particular fed. It was just it's Steffi Cohen and Hayden Bowe's gym.
They're normally associated with WRPF, aren't they?
Yeah, but I don't think they were this time around.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. They just ran their own meet, so I think it was unaffiliated. Gave away, let me just count this up, a shit ton of cash. 45, 60 grand.
Wow.
60 grand cash. So that was 20,000. So women first, second, third, and men first, second, third. First place, man and woman got 20 grand. Second place got 7.5, and third got 2.5. So not a bad paycheck.
Nice.
So obviously men in the men's, it was sleeves only as well. So there was no wraps, sleeves only. This is all sleeves only. John Hack obviously won. The standard, just 630 dots, 990 total. I think he weighed just over 90 kilos. And so he actually lifted in the 100 kilo class. So he held the sleeved world record in the 82.5, the 90s, and the 100 kilo class.
Yeah.
for about 10 minutes, because then Blake LaHue, like we were saying about before, who we've had on the podcast, he came out and pulled a massive jump on his third deadlift. I think he opened at 345, got reds. I think it was for soft lock, and so then he went 345 again, and then he jumped up to 382.5 and nailed it.
As you do.
That sounds like a strategy you would do.
Dude, you're either.
It's literally exactly what didn't you pull 345 on the second? And
no,
you went 385. Oh,
I went. Oh, I can't remember now. 362 or something, and then 390.
Oh, okay. Equivalent. You know,
something similar.
The jump of about 30-40 kilos after missing the first one on these.
Yeah, I mean, wow, would you expect anything less? I have to keep it interesting, you know.
So Blake LaHue with 910 kilo total, in an 82.5 kilo class. That's
910. So that's the all-time world record in that class.
Oh, that's
the
crazy.
All-time world record deadlift.
Under 82.5 kilos.
Yeah, 2,000 pounds total. Sleeves.
And sleeves too. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Guy's a freak. He benched 500 pounds for the first time as well in a comp.
Jeez.
Actually, that's equivalent. I think that's equal to the racked record as well.
It is, which is his as well.
Yeah, he already had it, right? But obviously he squatted more then.
Yeah, but he deadlifted and benched more now.
So how many raw and wraps combined are actually just sleeves? I wonder. Well, ATR, WR, because there's I know there's a couple. I have to have a look into it, but
I don't know. Yeah,
it's just mind blowing how. I mean, I've always said wraps do nothing, but
I feel like there was a couple because John Heck had set them and then set them higher than the wrap total, but now that those two are gone, and I feel like the 100 kilo one's Yuri, so 990 is not bigger than that. So I feel like he's only got. I feel like none of those are the sleeved is bigger now. But yeah, so Blake got second, which is dope, and then Jamal Browner got third. He had a bit of a rough meet.
He's got a massive dead though, doesn't he?
Massive dead, yeah. He's had a crack at 1,000 pounds before, but he pulled 417.5 this meet, missed 442.5 twice.
What's his weight class? He's in the 90s, isn't he?
110s.
Oh Jesus, not well off.
242s, yeah. So I mean, it's.
Sorry. Just going back. Hex 1,005.5 was sleeves, well, right?
Yes. At 90.
At 90.
Yep.
And then in the hundreds, what did he go?
990.
So that's the second biggest all time between Yuri and Tom Martin.
Yeah.
And they were obviously the top 10 or so all in wraps.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, John's a freak, no doubt.
I mean, he's not going to. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not going to, but to catch Yuri is going to take a bit of a.
Yeah.
1066 in sleeves in the hundreds.
The thing is that.
But he was only 91 or something. You were saying, right?
John, yeah, he was just over 90, 206 pounds or something.
And he was his combined lifts on Instagram were near on what 1080, 1085 or something.
Yeah, he pulled like 410.
He was benching 260.
Yeah, he benched 600 pounds. He benched 272.5.
Gee.
Yeah.
At 91, 92.
Well, he was heavier then. He didn't do a water cut. So he was like closer to 100 kilos then. But I say that like it makes a difference. It's still 600 fucking
That's
pounds.
Still more than 2.5x, 2.7x at his peak weight. I mean, it may have genuinely, if he'd done a cut, 3 times body weight bench.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
90.
Ludicrous.
And the woman.
And then in the girls, we had the upset actually, which was interesting. I mean, Samantha Rice, quads like mum on Instagram. She won. She took home all-time world record total in the, I want to say 198. So that's the 90 kilo girls. Yeah, 198. So world record there, and world record deadlift. 616 dots. 681 total. That's fucking massive. And then she actually beat Hunter. Hunter Henderson got second with a 650 total. All-time world record sleeve squat in the 75 kilo weight class. 250, I think she squatted.
Yeah, massive squat there, eh?
Yeah. And then
it wasn't the biggest squat of the meet though, eh? There was a 265 by Kirsten Skurlock. She was in the 90 plus.
Yes, she was in the open. Yeah, that's a massive squat. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Kirsten got third. Tied the all-time world record total and deadlift in the open weight class and sleeves.
And Hack got a 265 kilo bench too.
Yep. Yeah. So,
I thought you said 600.
No, not in the meet. He did 600 in the gym.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So some fucking, just ridiculous lifting. That's the first sort of ridiculous meet for the year. And then Ghost Clash is in like 3 or 4 weeks, which is going to be sick. Tamara's going to that plus size fit queen that we had on the other week.
Oh, nice. Yeah, okay.
She's
awesome.
going to that, so she'll pull something ridiculous. Probably reset her world record.
Yep.
If anyone missed that, she pulled 280 something, 286, which is ludicrous.
It's just mad, isn't it? It's just stupid.
Is that the most females ever pulled?
Yeah, heaviest raw deadlift ever by a female. I believe there's a girl in Strongman who's pulled 300, but
in Strongman though
doesn't count.
Yeah, straps and stuff. Yeah, so it's the biggest powerlifting deadlift.
Nice. So we've got the ghost meet coming up. We've got some good meets coming up over here in New Zealand.
Obviously over here in New Zealand, a couple of good meets coming up.
We'll finish up, Hamish, predictions for 2022.
We are going to see an emergence of a new lifter who's going to inspire Jackson to come back and beat. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Hang on. Who's this?
That's the mystery. You're just going to have to wait and see, mate.
Yeah.
Have they ever done powerlifting before?
We'll just have to wait and see.
I better tame it. I fucking better tame it.
I hope it's me, but I don't think I'll ever inspire you to come back. The lifts it, I'll pull up. But anyway.
I'm excited. That'll be fun.
Jackson?
Oh, I think, yeah, barring no lockdowns, I think powerlifting make a comeback in New Zealand. I think there's plenty of meets planned, plenty of options for people to do. Yeah, there's some big lifting across the board at the moment, so no reason why I won't.
Right. Do you think we'll see some new champions come through this year, or will we just see the current champions cement their hold on the scene?
Are you talking all time or like particular feds?
Oh, just across the board. Are we going to see new champions in each class? Or a particular class, one class, all classes, all feds, tested, untested?
I think, Joe is going to be doing Pro Raw, so I think he's going to further cement himself as New Zealand's best.
So Joe will just keep going gangbusters, yep.
Dude, his lifts at Vikings, his bench was like an opener, so he's,
just getting warmed up, eh?
Yeah, he's just getting warmed up, so he'll have a massive year.
Yeah, the prick's still pretty young too, isn't he?
Mid-30s, is he?
Mid-30s.
Early
30s. 36, I think.
36, yeah, still in his
early
prime.
mid-30s, so nice. he's one of those guys.
Another 4 or 5 years left in him, maybe, if not more.
Yeah, so I think they definitely, and I think if IPF can get a good year this year, they've got some big lifters. They've got some good lifters coming through. I see Tim Monaghetti is training pretty hard.
Nice.
So he's going to come in, and he's the next Brett Gibbs, really, if Brett doesn't come back.
Yeah.
So he's totaled 800 at 80.
Yep.
It's crazy. There's freaks like that everywhere. So it's going to be exciting. It's a big year.
Big year. All right. Excellent. All right, lads. It's been fun.
Good yarns.
Thanks, guys.
Good yarns. Very little powerlifting chat. That's all right. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, we'll finish on a high. All right.
Yep.
Good
nice
catching up. Catch you guys later, eh?
Yeah, team.
Cheers, guys.